King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches men. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been. For there's rum, and gin, and beer, and wine, and brandy of logwood hue, and hawk, and port, and flip, combined to make a man.
Whee! Sorry, I did on the other one. I did it with. That was worse. We tried to pre-record or do a little intro, and then we sat there and talked for like 10 minutes and realized I hadn't really hit record.
First time?
Yeah. You know me. Yeah, it's embarrassing sometimes. That's what happens. Technology.
Rubs you the whole way, doesn't it? Just
You what?
Yeah, technology and you don't get along.
No. Well, yeah, which is odd.
That's why you're our IT guy.
Yeah, that's why I'm the IT guy, and I do that for a living. And oh, look, Roach's wife made a friend. Look at that. He's already all hanging out with you. We're at the dog-friendly. We are here at the dog-friendly 1056.
Yes, 1056 Brewing in Knox, Indiana. And yes, it is dog-friendly. This is an awesome place. Mike and Erica, the owners and brewers, and finally got here. We've known you for over a year now.
Yeah, we were going on that. We were in our failed recording of our other intro. We were talking. Has it been about a year since you were at Tippy's?
Is that when we did
the
show?
That's where we met.
Yeah, that's where we met. But it's been about a year, hasn't it?
At least, I think. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I mean that's when we got the pizza beer. And I think you had the peanut. I think you might have had the peanut butter one at the same time too.
Yep.
And then something else. Mm-hmm. So, Brenda was like, "No, it was Halloween." I'm like, "No, Halloween was when they had the pumpkin muff."
No, it was the last one.
That was the last time we saw them. Yes. So yeah, no, that was no offense. Your pumpkin muff is awesome.
I'll give her the credit for that.
And I'll take it.
We're glad to be here. Well, thanks to you guys for inviting us out here.
Well, thank you.
Saturday afternoon at 1056. What's been going on? I mean, when did you guys actually finally open? Because when we were at Tippy's, you guys weren't open yet. So when was the grand opening?
We moved operations into this building on July 6th of last year.
Okay.
And so we were able to expand into having a tap room, having distributed for 3 years before that. We were pretty excited to have a tap room where people could come sit around with us and enjoy it, and things have just been kicking along splendidly since then.
Are you still doing as many festivals as you were back then? Or are you trying to cut them out a little bit more? You just got a lot more work to do with, being here now.
Absolutely.
Are you trying to pick and choose a little more?
We do that.
Yeah.
We have so many in a year that since it's just Mike and I, and we are fortunate to have a few friends that have server's licenses that will step in as needed. But we're pretty glued to the tap room too. So now when we choose a brew fest, it's not both of us going. We have to divide and conquer. So we tend to pick the ones that A, we enjoy the most, and B, that we know that are in a market where we can reach people that makes sense for them to get to us. So an Evansville or Bloomington Brewfest, while we get invited to those all the time. It just right now that doesn't make sense.
It's a long trek.
It truly is, and every Brewfest is a 12-hour day if it's only an hour away. So you put something at the bottom of the state, you've got an entire weekend for one Brewfest.
Yeah.
And if it's an outdoor Brewfest and under 40 degrees, I tend to work here. I stay at the tap room.
So you do frigid digits?
Yeah. That's how I pick and choose.
Way to go, Manly Mike.
I'll take one for the team and cover the tap room.
Oh, my God. It's so warm in here. Way to be chivalrous there, sir. He's done his duty on the and it's a big duty.
Yeah.
He did because you were a motorcycle cop, right?
Yes.
For years, right? I think
Yes.
we said that on the last one. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't think local law enforcement gets enough. They usually bad rap sometimes, but everybody's there for safety, so we appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Are you still? You said you wrote. Did you finally got a ride? It's been awful today, so it's a little nasty today. Have you been able to get out riding yet? Much?
Last week. I
Last
think we
week,
got a
did
day
you?
in.
Yeah.
We probably could have yesterday. We were just too busy.
Yeah.
One day you can ride, the next day it's snowing.
You know that, yeah. Until in another month, and then it's just going to be hot all day long for every day.
Too hot to ride.
Yeah. Too hot to go out and do.
Never too hot to ride.
Too hot to go out and do Brewfest. He'll be in here in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
At that point.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Tell us a little about 1056. Obviously, the name and has to do with the but I want you guys to tell that story. Where's it come from, and how did it get started?
What's that story?
The 1056 comes from my time with the state police.
Right.
That is the Indiana radio code for a drunk person, public intoxication. The wheel and wing symbol came from my time as a motor unit. That's our symbol for that too. So we just put them together, and it seemed interesting enough. And I'm not sure who even came up with it between the two of us.
You remember who did your logo?
She drew the very first logo.
Started out as a pencil drawing, and then I got some friends who were good at graphic design to get in and turn that into a usable JPEG that I could put out and use for different things. But over the years, it's just sort of evolved. It's always been the Wheel and Wings, but it's evolved a little bit.
Awesome.
I don't know when we came up with 1056, but before we ever started our LLC and knew that we would go into business and open a brewery, we always knew it would only be 1056.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay. So what got you into brewing though? Because I mean, wasn't it you started kind of as a hobby and just kind of something to do? And
Yep.
It was a Christmas
I bought Mike
present.
a 5-gallon homebrew kit, just like everybody else starts out.
but no intention of doing it. I mean, it was just
Not at the time.
Yeah.
I think we just wanted to have some fun, brew
Right.
some beer, and we brewed our first beer. And when it turned out good, we sat and laughed all night long about it, and we couldn't believe how good it turned out.
Nice.
So we got a second kit, and we brewed another one, and we did the same thing.
You know, you can reuse those. You didn't have to throw the first one away. Right?
I like that idea. So along the way, we decided kits are great, but unless you're filthy,
Yeah.
you can't screw up a kit unless you don't know how to clean.
You're doing
So-
doing the kit and the extract. You were doing extracts.
Yep,
Yeah, straight up
absolutely.
extract beer. Yeah, gotcha.
So I decided I wanted to do an all-grain beer, so I started doing some research and designing a couple recipes, and we went out and bought grain, and we brewed it that way, and that turned out good too. And then we looked at each other and said, wait a minute.
Did we even do? I think we did one extract beer,
we did the first
and
one,
then
yeah.
it didn't come out well.
No.
And then we
No.
said, screw it, we're gonna go straight into all grain.
There you go.
We went straight into brew and bag, literally just straight into it right after that, and we had a few hits and misses.
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
misses.
Yeah.
I knew
still-
we
It
were in
takes.
deep when bigger kettles started showing up
Yeah,
at the front door.
she just
Yeah.
started ordering. She's
Just
like, "Oh,
ordering.
well, we're good at this." So, at least you know, you knew you had someone directed everything and telling you what to do. So you know,
Come on now.
say we're gonna do this.
We were sharing so much beer that it did become evident that we could brew some beer, so we decided we could probably profit off of it. And
That's always a huge leap to make. I do got to ask though, because where did you start? I mean, were you read any books you were reading? I mean, anything like. Where did you start figuring out how to do the all grain and all that? I mean, like Jordan, one of the pigs, he started. I think he got a book. I think
Yeah.
he started reading
Yeah.
off a book. But anything out there for the new brew, for the people who are doing homebrew that you used, give some advice out that you used to the book, internet. Was it just all of it?
Our first book was Homebrewing for Dummies, actually.
Are you shitting me? There's a
No.
homebrewing for dummies.
Yep.
It's got a lot
homebrew
of great
for everything.
recipes in it that show extract brewing, but then it gives you an alternative grain recipe as well.
Okay.
And so started with that, went into a few other ones, and then
Radical Brewing.
yep,
new
that
book.
was our second one.
Radical beer.
Radical Brewing's another book. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Then just reading up on the internet, and
Yeah.
you can find everybody's recipe anywhere.
Yeah.
So
And
there's not many secrets.
Yeah, they're really. It is amazing that you really kind of can't. But that's always been the craft industry.
Right.
It's not really nobody's really hiding anything other than And actually, no one. Anybody we talk to usually doesn't hide it. It's like,
No,
oh,
very
yeah,
open and
I brewed
yeah,
that
it's
for an hour and a
yeah, it's
half,
open
and then
industry.
and then put the hops in for another half hour and blah blah blah. Yeah,
I'm sure everybody's got their own little things that they're
Some
keeping
tweaks.
and yeah.
And you know what? Even if somebody could put an exact recipe on the internet,
They're not gonna do
and
it the same way.
You're not.
No.
Everybody has their own little
Water.
techniques.
Right.
And
Well,
the
one
difference in
change
water.
that.
difference
Yeah.
in water.
Oh, yeah.
How good is your heat control?
Right.
Because when you're doing it just in the garage, and you got a propane, you got a flame.
Yeah.
If you're not stirring, and then you got the bag, and then all of a sudden you just shift in the bag, and all of a sudden the temperature changes by like 20, 30 degrees because someone decided to shift the bag in there a little bit. It's a giant pain.
We our bigger jump was we were really good friends with the owners of Twisted Kate's Brewing up in LaPorte. They befriended us and helped us along and helped. She started brewing with their brewer,
Right.
and that got us.
helps.
And that's
Yeah.
actually their equipment when they went out of business.
Oh,
We-
really?
We got their equipment.
We
that
were
was,
on a 1-barrel when they went out
Mm-hmm.
of business, and so we upgraded to the 3-barrel when they
Right.
closed up.
And so you were basically kind of interning over there, a little apprenticeship.
yeah.
A little fun here and there, a couple brews, just
Well,
to
you
get
can't brew beer and not drink beer at the same time.
True.
Did you guys still do that? Got to have beer in hand.
I'm usually
Not
so
as much?
busy. We're hydrating a lot while we're back there. It's hot and you got a lot of lifting to do. But yeah, we still
gotta have
try
a beer.
everything. Gotta
Yeah.
have a beer.
And you guys still do a lot of traveling and hitting other breweries. You have to do that. What was your before 1056? What was your favorite breweries that you go to? What kind of got you into it?
I would say probably so cliche, but Greenbush, just because they're so close for
Yeah.
us, and we do spend so much time on the motorcycle. If we had a couple hours, Greenbush is the obvious place to
Yeah.
go because we can get
Yeah.
there quick enough. It's a nice ride, and then if we're gonna go there, well, you might as well hit
Journeyman?
Tapestry, Journeyman,
Journeyman,
all
yeah.
that good stuff. That's just a great corridor to be able to fit a lot of different breweries in a small, quick trip.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we've done stuff in Southern Indiana and usually put a motorcycle ride around it and create a weekend, when we weren't staffing a tap room and had weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Little
we're
harder.
Tuesday at 2 kind of people.
Yeah.
Oh. But eventually, it's already starting to fill up here on a Saturday. It's looking good in here. I love the place. Already still just a lot of space. We've got like a front area, I think, for
Our family-friendly room.
family-friendly area, and then
Pet friendly.
Yes,
This is
the
a
all
big
pet
one,
friendly
that's-
area. There was a baby wiener in here earlier.
Roach friendly. We let Roach in.
Yeah, we let roach, not roaches. We let the roach in. There's only the one roach. But it's. When did you open this? When did you open?
Last July.
July.
It's July. So, you got a nice patio out there too, and it's plenty of space. It's going to be awesome probably for the spring and summer.
Oh, yeah.
Once
well,
everything's great.
In the spring and summer, we get to open this garage door, so that
Oh, do you
opens
open
up-
that one too?
Absolutely.
Oh shit!
And
Nice.
then you've got all the games outside, so a lot of people hanging out there, so it does expand things.
What
and spread
games are
people out.
outside?
Cornhole and
Giant Connect 4.
Django.
Oh, okay.
Giant Connect 4. Yep.
We can get a tether ball.
Yep.
We can get tether
Somebody
ball.
will get
Oh,
hurt.
God.
No.
Trying to find some old school jarts.
Jarts, yeah.
Yes, tetherball, jarts.
People keep suggesting horseshoes.
what's that-
I'm
what's-
really not sure that's a good fit.
What's the game where you shoot the arrow straight up in the air and you have to stay in the circle, and the last one out of the circle wins, right?
A lawsuit,
And
I think that's called. Yeah.
It's a lawsuit. Shit. Yeah. And you didn't play that stupid. You didn't play that game?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody did.
I thought I was the only one. I
No.
didn't know. Okay. All right. I still can't remember what it was called though.
I have no idea.
It was oh shit! Somebody just fired an arrow into the air. Run.
Well, I
Sorry.
think we need to have some beer. So let's take a quick break and let's get a.
I'm gonna hear about the new beers because
Yeah, let's get do some of the new beers. They got a couple of new ones out and some old standards. Let's
get a
Absolutely.
couple
break
flights and we'll come right back.
beer talk. Cheers.
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 If you're a craft beer guy who can't get it nearby, do yourself a favor and log into Taver.
Aloha, Pastor Poi Mahalo. It's Cluck from the Jason and Cluck Show, and this is the Blind Pig Confessions here on the internet. www.whatever.
Backity back, and we're back.
Hey,
Getting it's getting popular around here.
back
lots
in
of
Knox,
people.
1056.
Yes, sir. Listening to some BC Boys in the background. Awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing. You can bring your vinyls in here, and
Right.
I'm kicking myself because
he had a whole stack at the house. I picked him up, and he didn't remember till 30 minutes after we got here. And he's got good vinyl. I mean, he's got really good vinyl.
Poison, Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
That is good.
I mean, yeah. Shut up, Roach.
There's some Bob Seger in there for you, Roach. Don't worry.
There's some Def Leppard. I think there was some Def Leppard.
Well, there's definitely some. Yeah, there's some good old school.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, next time I come, maybe tomorrow I'll bring some vinyl out tomorrow for Sunday afternoon and hang out and
Vinyl and dogs.
because I love that. That's
What's in the big aquarium?
A lot of air right now.
Oh, okay. It's actually supposed to be a fish aquarium.
It's going to be.
Okay.
It's in progress. That's going to be a saltwater tank, but we're partially into it right now.
That is a pain in the ass. I had a tank that size and was going to try to do salt water, and I just kept looking at all the stuff going. Fuck no.
Yeah.
No, because I can't keep the freshwater fish alive. It's like shit.
Can't keep a goldfish alive.
Actually, it's so weird. So we did have a big. Me and my girlfriend. This was 15 years ago, probably. We had a big tank like that, and we had freshwater. We had puffers. We had a bunch of other stuff, and then they all just started dying. We had, but I shit you not, in like a Tupperware bowl, just a Tupperware bowl, we had all the little like guppies or whatever we were supposed to feed to the freshwater puffers. And everything else in the big tank died. We forgot about the guppies in the Tupperware, and they were still alive like a month later. I don't know how, but it was like tucked under, and all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, they're still there. So we can keep guppies alive, I guess, is about it, or whatever the little feeder fish we were using. But yeah, they stayed alive forever. But that's a lot of work. Saltwater tank is a lot of work.
That was a Christmas present that's still evolving.
So it takes time. It takes time. No, definitely. But yeah, it's got a lot of great atmosphere though. Like I said, the dogs and everything. I mean, I was checking out your shirt. You get your crotch sniffed at 10:56. It's got a picture of your dog right on there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's real friendly. It's got a great friendly atmosphere.
Absolutely,
everything around here. So
room to expand, right? So you got.
We do.
There's, you guys can.
Where are you going to expand to? The brewery's right there.
Well, as we need to, and we go into bigger equipment, by the time we hit 7 or 10 barrel, it'll be too tall for that room. So our whole warehouse area is where we'll expand into.
Oh.
And then this will become an expanded tap room.
Oh,
so
nice.
We'll shift the bar around, pull taps off the other side of the cooler, and this tap room will be twice as big.
Sweet. That's pretty awesome.
This wall behind you could come out. It's a non-supporting wall. There's 20 feet above us.
Not now, Roach. Don't.
Yeah.
Not now.
Break it
Yeah. Don't try running through it.
Yeah. But eventually, this will all be seating, and then the equipment will go one more.
That's awesome.
Wall over.
What are you open all week, or do you take a day off at least, Monday or
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday open.
Okay.
So close Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when we get the brewing done usually.
Okay.
And we'll add Wednesday this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've already discussed doing that.
Yep.
Thursdays you have.
You mean she's already told you you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Is Thursday pretty much? Is that always a Johnny V night? Is that?
No.
Or is that not always? Just
Johnny V plays twice a month,
Twice a
usually
month,
one
okay.
weekend date and then one Thursday as well.
okay.
Nice.
Gotcha.
You got your music, you got your vinyl, you got your beer. It's all good.
Thursday's half off Mug Club Day.
Oh,
So-
nice. We got some beers in front of us.
Yes.
And,
We gotta. Yeah. We'll stop talking for a minute about other things, and we want to talk about beer because I'm liking it. Where you want to go to? Where you want to go first? You've got 4. I've got 4. What is the latest one? You just tapped something. I don't know if that's in here.
Free Love just got tapped, and it should be.
Where is that? Oh, okay, here it is. What is the Free Love one?
It's a rosemary lemongrass blonde.
This is a rosemary lemongrass blonde. This is orange.
A little bit.
I mean, there's really no. I mean, I made a mistake in our horribly messed up original 10-minute intro segment. I asked. I always make the mistake of asking Brendan, what color was it? And Brendan's colorblind, so he's a horrible.
I forgot that.
He would be a
Everybody does.
horrible BJCP judge, or he's never going to be able to be a judge on anything other than he'd have to have a CNI judge, with him to help him out. But
It started as a blonde.
yes.
The rosemary and
No,
lemon.
but
sure
it's,
that- yeah.
it's still a beautiful color. What I'm saying, it's still a beautiful color, is what I'm saying. It
Gotcha.
is very orange, and I'm excited to try it. Is that what you got in
That's
your
what I
big
got.
glass?
Yeah, it's delicious. I dig it. I love the. You definitely pull that rosemary out of there in the
Pass that around.
passing.
So that's built off of your base blonde. Was it based off the vanilla blonde? You have a base blonde recipe that you're using?
Those are 2 different blonde recipes.
2 different blonde recipes. Okay. That's good. I'd almost kind of feel like that one. That would be kind of awesome and slightly soured.
I could see that.
No, I mean it's very fruity.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what it's got the lemongrass is really got a really good part to it, and the rosemary adds to it. It's got a nice
I like it
tang
because
to it almost.
It's
in
very
my
light, but
palate.
it's light but earthy. 'Cause
Yes.
you got that. Yeah, that's what makes it.
I've made pasta sauces with it.
I bet. Yeah.
Slap some
Oh,
shrimp.
yeah.
You're
What?
good to go.
How do you make pasta sauce with it?
Reduce it down. Add some broth. Throw some shrimp in it.
I'm a 43-year-old single male reducing reductions of
Soak
beer
your
and
pizza in it.
Okay, there you go. See, let's just make it simple.
Dip a slice of pizza into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, turn that a little more your way. Just our mics are pretty directional.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be perfect with any kind of seafood or fish.
Now he's the chef. Yeah, Brent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
We'll hook you up on some pairings. On
Dougie Fresh is the chef because he will make I know how to make chili, and I'll put beer in my chili. That's the extent of some of my culinary. I'm getting better at smoking stuff though. I do make a really good chili. It's
we got a cop on the show. Careful where you go with that.
Why? What are you talking about?
Smoking stuff.
Oh, no, the wrong
You
kind.
already lose your own. Jesus Christ.
I wasn't even going there. Shame on you.
I know we're not in Colorado.
No, it's got a great nose to it. Do you make a base blonde out of this? Just a straight blonde? Is the straight blonde? Do you have a straight blonde ale you do? Or no, or just you still just have a blonde base that you put everything
we have
to?
right now, Free Love and Charlie's Cherry come off their own base, and then Blondage comes off its own base.
Okay, and Charlie's Cherry that's your cranberry goza one?
No. Charlie's Cherry is a chamomile cherry blonde.
That's that's the other one I had, the chamomile blonde. That's right. Sorry, I'm forgetting.
It's a blonde kind of day here. You fit right in.
Nice.
I dig that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I just like it's light and crisp, but yet there's a lot of depth in that flavor and the earthiness of it. I like it.
It's one of those beers Mike begged me not to take to a brew fest.
Really?
How to do?
Said nobody would like it.
I'm not a big fan, but it goes over better than anything.
Really?
In a summer brew fest.
Oh,
It goes
yeah.
over first.
Yeah.
We used that for a VIP session at Porter's Perfect Pint the first time we took it out, and we ran out of it. People were mad. But I was too busy looking at Mike smiling like,
yes.
I think we should go to what we got here next.
Yeah.
So the lame-ass beer, this is weird. This is your ode to, I wouldn't say Budweiser, but just those everyday drinkers that
crossover
people come
beer.
in and say, hey, I'm not a big craft beer drinker. What do you got? What's like Miller Lite? What's like Bud Light? And you say, well, I got a lame-ass beer for you.
That's exactly why we did it. It's a crossover beer. She made the recipe for a friend who didn't drink craft. And during the conversation, that term came out, I'm going to make you a lame-ass beer recipe that you'll like. And
Which one's that
That's
one?
what Keith's drinking, right?
What you got?
threw a little bit of citrus peel in there. It changes up. We do orange. We have a lime version, and goes over real good. It's a crossover. If you don't, you can drink it if you don't.
What
drink
is this
craft
one
beer.
again? Sorry.
That's the lame-ass beer.
Lame-ass beer.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I remember I've had this one before. Yes, it's very good.
But I would see that just fly. I mean, you got to keep that stocked all the time.
Oh,
because
that's
it's gonna,
a daily
it's
beer.
gotta be
That's your staple, yeah.
Yep.
Lame Ass and Jane Doe. If we don't have those two on, there's fights in here.
The Jane Doe. Which one's that?
Chocolate peanut butter
Okay.
porter.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those two
Yeah.
we keep on the board all the time.
Okay.
The rest of the beers rotate when we get a chance to make them.
Awesome.
We do about 26, 27 different recipes right now, and so
Wow.
since we have 10 taps and we always guest tap one cider and one beer, we're always trying to rotate through those beers since we only have 8 of our own on at any given time.
But still, granted, you're not, I guess, saying new. You're not really new. You've been around for years, just doing the distributorship. But still, having 27 unique recipes already that's a great achievement.
It is.
Well, yeah.
That's
The 27th was the Gosa that she just did.
Yeah. I had the Goza earlier, and that was that.
You're in for it?
spectacular. Yes.
Oh, good.
We did talk a little bit.
We're gonna tart it up.
She did. I did say I'm expecting with the first part of the flavor that comes in on the Goza. The salt is there, obviously. That's great. The Goza finish is there. For me, I would like to feel a little more tart to it. It's not as tart as some of the Gozas I've had before. Just that when the tart ones hit you right in that jawbone.
He's got a spot in his mouth he likes to get tickled.
Yes.
And once you hit that spot, he's golden.
I'm all good, yeah. I will be your friend for life.
I I think she was shooting for that level right before the sour.
Right.
It's still in a tart zone, so there's a small area there.
And it's there. Yeah, it's there.
Wow, that's
I don't know
easy
how
to
tart
fix.
you can get. I think mine's more because most of the ones I've had have been like a plum or a cherry, and achieving tart off a cherry is easy. And in fact, you have to be careful not to get too much of that.
I would think
then it's
any
just
kind of sour
awful.
would just be a hard. What do you think is the hardest beer for you to brew so far? You haven't done any lagers yet, right?
No.
I was just talking to Mike though.
But is a sour a pain in the ass, or is it just? I mean, is there any beer that's been a bigger pain than another one?
I don't find that it's a bigger pain in the ass. It's just a different theory. as
How are
go
you
along.
How are you souring though? Because sour, you've got to be careful. Are you
We used lactic acid.
okay? Because I know
We
you
don't
know.
want to ruin every kettle we have in here.
Exactly. That's where I was going. Everybody knows that. It's like, oh, you want to play with sours? Sure. How about you just become a sour brewery, period, then, at that
Right.
point? Because you almost have to get another building,
Exactly.
another
Well, you
garage
see that
somewhere.
happening all over the place.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's horrible. And then all of a sudden, you've just got to torch everything with a freaking flamethrower to burn it all off, and then hope to God you've got it all that next time.
Yep.
That's what happened to some of our stuff. Some of our equipment got just wild, sitting in a garage, wild, some wild shit going on, and then every beer was this stout meant to be a black IPA? No. Or a black sour? No, not really. Yeah, we had to shut down operations basically at that point when we started. All our stuff pretty much got messed, and we had to throw away we had to throw away both of our conical fermenters because we had just the ones you get from like Great Fermentations, just the little ones. Yeah, we had two of those gone. Wow. Had to toss them just
that
because.
hurt.
Yeah. I mean, they're like $100 a pop, but still that hurts when you're just garage brewing. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. We're hoping to start up again this summer, though. We've got the Grainfather system from that we got that we all kind of went in on. So it's a nice little system.
Some people frown on that.
I've not
some,
even heard of it.
It's an amazing
Exciting
system.
stuff.
Huh?
To me, and I know a lot of the even the major brewers use them for testing stuff.
It's a
and
testing one.
You can make small stuff, but it's still. I think some people
You can
frown
control
it-
the
it-
heat.
Yeah,
We can control because it's all electric, and it's still all just brew and bag in one one unit. But
Okay.
all the equipment just is kind of there together. It's got a pump in it and all that, and
it's still your recipe, and you're still doing everything.
Absolutely.
But there's
Doesn't
some
matter
people that
what
really
people
frown
say.
on it for some
Yeah.
reason. Like, oh, that's not.
oh, it's a Mr. Coffee.
Yeah, it's not like that at
No,
all.
it's not
It's-
at all.
No.
They do make those. Those are those. Have you seen those like countertop like beer systems? It's basically a freaking Keurig. At that point, you basically just stick all the pieces in, and you let it sit there, and it does it all itself.
I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure that beer is awesome.
Every time.
I really want to try one of those.
We
So bad.
frown on the automation
Yeah.
Well,
just because we're
of course,
smaller.
yeah.
If we go to a 20 barrel, I'm going to beg for automation.
That is the nice thing about being as small as we are. It's every step is hands-on.
Yeah.
And we take pride in that. Our wall says craft and creativity and community, of course. And that craft and creativity is an honest term here because every little detail is touched by us. There's no automation, no computers making choices for us. And that feels good to me. I worry about the days when we do have to grow and expand into those bigger systems. I'll miss that
You're
part
gonna
of it.
have to. Yeah.
But even when you get bigger, you can still keep that piece of it. You usually end up getting bigger on your staple beers, and then but you still get to handcraft the experimental beers and those things like that, even if you get larger. So I don't think you'll miss it as much. Because you won't have to sit there brew. You'll have something better to do your staple beers all day long, which you need larger volumes
play.
of. Yeah. Speaking of community, because I do always want to bring that up. You guys do a lot of stuff, right? I mean, charities and stuff. Somebody keeps handing me little wooden hearts or something like that every time I order a beer. What is that about?
We give 5 cents for every pint flight wine or cider back to local charities. So every 3 months we have these boxes on the wall. We switch them out every month because they get full, obviously, but we choose 4 causes. Right now we have the Stark County Humane Society, we have the Kankakee Valley FOP, we have the Food Bank here in Stark County, and then the American Foundation for the Prevention of Suicide is always on the wall. That one never changes, but the other 3, every 3 months those change.
Oh, you switch those out? Mm-hmm. I got Keith trying the cherry chamomile, and that's. When did you tap that one? Is that? I think it was just before we were here last time. You
around
were
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, you were getting there to get that one out.
That's got a great flavor to it as well.
Thank you.
I like the aroma. I like the chamomile aroma. Metazoa makes a really good chamomile beer. Oh. If you ever get down towards
we've been there. We love them.
When they have it out, they're really good with some of those.
Lovers. Of course, you love
yeah, exactly. But they're very good at they make some really good florals.
They do
type beers that really have a great aroma to them and just a really good just the palate on it. The color is great. The finish is great on a lot of theirs. So, and they've come a long way too, as far as some of them. Some of their first ones we had were, love you, Metazoa, but there were a few weird ones.
It's fun to watch them grow, though,
It
right?
is. Oh, yeah, it's great.
And speaking of community, they give a
Yes,
lot
they do.
back to animal causes.
Oh, yeah, they do.
We're always proud of their efforts there. It's nice to see that people do that.
Which is in this industry, you see a lot of it. It's a ton of it because you kind of need to. You get a lot of. I know a lot of these too. You're very intertwined with even the local governments and stuff because you're trying to get. Obviously, you got to get the licensing and all that, but it really just everybody kind of helps everybody else out. It helps them with something, helps with charities. It just gets you use buildings that maybe hadn't been. A lot of places do that. Use buildings that have been sitting around forever, and they microbrew comes in and they restore it, and all of a sudden everything's great. Everything's really starts to pick up in the town. So
well, I think the rise of the craft brewery scene. You started seeing more. Obviously, more craft breweries, more coffee houses, and then more art shows and music, and a lot more local community style stuff. Distilleries also are popping up as well, like Journeyman. But so you're seeing more and more of that, which is very, very cool. A lot more localized community, so it's very,
community
very
involvement
cool.
Focus.
Yeah. Lots of coffee shops over now popping up too, which is pretty wild. A lot of local roasters.
And a lot of collaborations.
And they collaborate.
Are you collaborating with anybody yet on the coffee houses?
No, not currently. We've had a conversation with a local company that I hope that comes to fruition this year. But our biggest collaboration right now is with our local hop growers, and then also with our local blueberry farm, our Shrewberry Blue, our blueberry stout.
Yeah.
We use a lot of their blueberries in.
I don't think I've had that one.
Oh,
I don't think I got that one.
You know?
Really? No, I have not. I didn't get to have that one. I had the pumpkin muff at Halloween time, and then it's the beers we had before, and then everything today. No, I don't remember a blueberry.
I love the blueberry. There is one. I'm trying to think.
It's coming as soon as I get some blueberries. Sweet. I got the stout ready for it. I'm waiting on the blueberries right now.
So how do you?
We're a slave to the season.
Well, yes. How do you do that? Where do the blueberries come in the process?
In the secondary fermenter.
Okay, gotcha.
Get the primary fermentation done, then pile in the blueberries. Let it go again.
Crush them, puree them, or no? You just do a crush. Okay, you don't puree them all up and then dump it all in. Okay.
It'd be because we don't filter anything, so the bigger the chunks I can leave in there when I clean it and rack it a couple times to clean it out.
Okay.
That way I'm not fighting the filter. I don't need a filter then.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, and that's again little secrets of do you puree it? Do you do just a crushed enough to get it so that they can get the sugars out and everything get in there? So cool.
And just let it sit.
Nice.
Do its thing.
How long do you let it sit?
Secondary with the blueberries. 2 weeks. I think we're going 2 weeks just to make sure.
Nice.
We talk nice to it. Yeah. We encourage it. Tell it we believe in it.
Play music for it.
Hey there, Mr. Blue.
Yeah. Well, Fats Domino.
Yeah, there you go. All right, where's our next beer? What next beer adventure are we going on, Brendan?
Let's let these guys pick. What should we go to next?
We got Orange is the New Black and a Serenity.
You guys talked about Orange is the New Black on your house show, though, right?
We did.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, we really liked that one.
Yeah. And again, and I was talking to Mike up at the bar. Not a big black IPA it's a controversial style. It's still a controversial style. I don't think it's even officially recognized yet. Right? Because I know that
somebody just coined the phrase.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think it's still not official. Like the New England IPAs wasn't, but now NEPA isn't officially recognized.
The black IPAs aren't yet.
Yeah, and they're hit or miss. A lot of times, I think the early ones we saw were failed. Like a failed stout or a failed porter, and they started calling it that, and so to me, it had a bad connotation right at the beginning, especially because when we had our beer, and so Dan Gore originally from Redemption went, "Did you brew a black IPA?" No. So immediately, black IPA has a connotation to me of. It's a fuck up. Pardon my language.
It's yours.
Yeah.
Yes, it was my. Yeah, I'm like, oh great. So that's an insult, right? Black IPA, but no, it's got a great flavor to it.
So you, Brendan, you have the black IPA with no flavoring. It's the base black IPA, and you have the oranges and black.
Oh, okay. So same base. So that's the base of the.
There's the oranges and new black one first. Well, yes, you should. It's in your hand.
Oh, I like this one though. I love the orange.
But it reminds me of the chocolate orange thing.
That's what she was asking for. Yeah.
That's the fun part about designing recipes and brewing beer is that we can sit and talk about a recipe that we've been dreaming about.
Yeah.
You brew it, and when you taste it and you know you nailed exactly what you had in mind, that's very gratifying.
Right. Nice. I thought. I mean, Mike told me at the bar that you're happy when people just go, it's all right.
When people say they take a taste of it and they say, "Oh, it's all right," and
I look at him and
just
say,
what I was going for.
You gotta have one beer named that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's like, this beer's okay.
Say that's awesome. No, it's all right. So this is the base of the black IPA. I love the orange and black. I think that's unique. I think I like it. And I think
I can see and I can taste the orange difference on that. So, well, now like I was saying, I don't know if you've if you've had one in a long time, but the orange, it's that chocolate orange thing. Have you ever had one of those?
Smack it down on
the smack and it breaks open. You never had one of those?
It's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, it's a Christmas thing. It's a chocolate orange. It's in foil. You open it up, you crack it, and it splits apart with orange slices.
No.
It has like orange slices.
Never.
Yeah, really?
No, I've never had that either.
No?
I was going to say, I know what I'm buying.
Guess who's getting for Christmas?
Never even heard anything like it. No.
They make a raspberry version too.
I can't remember the name. What's the name of the company?
Why would
now?
you do that to me?
I don't know, because we like to put people on the spot.
Is this like an old thing?
Yeah, it's been around for
forever.
Decades.
No.
Yeah, that's the chocolate that's been around for decades.
No.
It comes in a box, but it's foil wrapped.
Yeah. All right. You keep talking. I'm gonna look that up.
No, haven't. No. So we got one more and two more. Let's.
You've got a Road Warrior Red.
Road Warrior Red.
That's that one. Yeah.
Is that a fairly new one? I don't remember seeing that one out here before.
No. We designed that for a motorcycle club benefit probably 3 years ago. Yep. It was a benefit for fallen police officers. And there were motorcycle people coming from all over the country, so that's why it's Road Warrior.
So there were a couple people. There were some new people in here earlier before we started recording who picked that, and they were like, "Wow, this is great." They were very impressed by it. I think you were. It was just you weren't here at the time, but I like watching new people come into a tap room, and trying some of the new ones, and either seeing their faces or seeing them lighten up or go, But I think it's for me it's a people watching thing, and I like seeing it.
It reminds me of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for some reason.
What?
That's just a couple different caramel malts mixed together.
Yeah,
nothing complex.
Yeah.
So we had an ale. It was Mashcraft did a coffee red ale, and it ended up tasting like oh damn! I'm gonna have to listen to the show again. But one of the guys was like, "Oh, this tastes like a cereal I had long ago," and it was basically like the cereal was like pancakes or toaster, and then it was like we figured out the name of it, and now I put myself on the spot and can't remember it. But but I think
I'll edit that.
Some of the better no.
No, No, you won't.
I'm actually good with. I'm not. Red ale is a 50-50. It's a hit or miss for me. But some of the better red ales, like it tastes like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or there's a maple something to it. There's something that comes out in.
It's malty, and I love the aroma because it's real bready, and I like. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the red ales are hit or miss.
But if you, it's the ones that have some of the extra maltiness that really just kind of almost a red with a biscuity bit to it, a little bit of maple somewhere in there, as at least what comes across on my palate. Everybody's palate's weird, and our descriptions are kind of off because we're not official any kind of BJCP judges. So,
But I get breakfast out of that. That's why
it's not chunky. That's
You
great.
can have it for breakfast.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I get. It just reminds me of breakfast. I love the aroma. It is biscuity and bready and malty. I like it.
That's a very good. That is a solid red ale right
That's
there.
delicious.
Thank you.
Very good. It's because I think it's got that maltiness, extra maltiness to it. I think. What hops did you use in this? Do you guys remember?
It has Centennial in it.
Okay, and Centennial's one I'm good with.
Yeah.
There's a couple
It's a pretty
hops
common-
that are rough.
What don't you like?
The Pioneer, the ones that go really piney, those are the IPAs, which I just don't like. I'm not a big I'm not. What am I talking about? Which one? Citra. I'm not a big Citra fan. I'm just not. What is the other one? What's the super piney one? Brennan, come on.
There's what was it, Amarillo
Chinook
or Chinook? Yeah.
Yes. Like I know there's what's the beer? Chinookalicious.
Yeah.
Good, but it's too much for me. It's just because my allergies just go nuts on some of those too.
That's the fun about hops. There's just so many different varieties and flavors and aromas. That
they keep making more. They keep popping up new hops.
There's all kinds of new hybrid varieties and other ones they're doing. I really wish I could be that guy who can, just grab a handful of hops and you stick them in your face so you can smell them and really appreciate it. But I'd die, I mean, I keep an EpiPen in my car, and just in case on some of them, because I have horrible allergies to some of the hops. They really, you got them too.
Yeah, there's certain ones that
really hit
just
you.
I'll drink a beer or that'll just seize me right up. I get just stuffed right up.
Whoa.
Yeah, stuffed up. Not, and I keep drinking them because I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
because they're good. I'm like, it's good. But yeah, I'll get stuffed up, and there's a couple hops that just stuff me right up.
Yeah.
Right at the bat.
It's
And
like
Jameson, Irish whiskey will do that to me.
But you keep drinking it.
No, I don't like. I try not. I'm not a big Jameson fan.
He's
I
an
love
Williams.
bourbon. I love Scott, but Jameson, I'm not a big Irish whiskey fan. But everybody drank that for so long, they still do. So I'm not going to turn it down.
See?
But it'll just plug me right up as soon as I drink a shot of it. It's really weird. And there's some beers that'll do that. Some IPAs.
Do you have any allergies on? I mean, do you guys
I do not.
to the hops or any of that? You ever had any issues with the hops?
not so far.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm allergic to dogs, grass, hops, cats, mosquitoes. I'm allergic to everything. It's really horrible. It's awful. I've been on allergy shots for like 5 years, and now I can pet dogs at least.
Let's try that.
Benson's non-allergenic, so
Exactly.
you're
I know. I love your dog. Hypoallergenic dogs. They're great.
Let's try this last
this
sample
last
before
one?
we take
All
a
right.
break. And
I believe that's Serenity Stout.
Yes, sir.
that's the Serenity Stout.
Yeah.
You do have it on.
We just came up.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've never had.
He was
we were
looking at the-
that.
he was
So
looking at the
I've never
awesome
even seen
poster
it
up
out here
there.
before.
Yeah.
Who did the poster up there? Really?
Really?
I made that as a gift for Mike when we first started brewing, and we made that recipe. I made that for
So this is
him.
one of your originals.
Yeah, this is an old recipe. Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't had that yet.
Today's your lucky day.
It is.
It comes a little smoky-ish.
There's where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm processing. I'm like, there's some smoky to that. Almost
I like that.
Baltic, almost Baltic? No, almost Rausch beer-ish. Almost a little bit of Rausch beer to that.
But very, you get the smokiness.
It's still mellow. It's very mellow.
You still get the lactose and the very smooth and but smoky.
But it
that.
Without the lactose, it'd be a crisper Baltic like you were talking about.
Yeah. That's delicious.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm digging that. Smoky.
I think that's awesome.
That's maybe our second or third recipe ever made.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Blinking
I can't
Beaver
believe we
was
haven't
our
had that
first.
before.
Blinking
Say
Beaver.
what in the beaver?
Blinking Beaver was our first beer that we ever designed.
Blinking Beaver?
Yep, hazelnut brown ale.
Where'd you get the? So all right. So who comes up with the names?
Usually they're jokes or somebody says something stupid and we say, oh, that's going to be a beer name.
We usually write them down.
That
If
works,
something
yeah.
happens, and Blinking Beaver was an accident because I couldn't remember the name of a wine that she was drinking called Winking Owl, so I converted that into Blinking Beaver, and she wrote that down as a beer name. Makes sense.
Nice.
Right?
No, that's how kind of I have like a huge list of beer names just in my notes somewhere if we ever actually get to that point.
One day.
There's a few on the chalkboard now up there.
Well, our best one came when we were at his dad's house for a trip, and that was the Psycho Pecker. Because his dad has a fucking crazy ass fucking woodpecker that 5 o'clock in the morning we're all still got to hang trying to sleep with it, and this frickin' Psycho Pecker, and I was just laughing because here's his dad just God damn that fucking Psycho Pecker, and I'm like, what did your dad just say?
Hold on to that one.
Trademark Blind Pig Confessions. Now it's official. You can't use it. But yeah, we were always trying to come up with ones like that. They happen organically, kind of, don't they? That's some of the best ones
do.
too.
We have a New England IPA named Arrested at Prom.
I have not had. Ooh, when's that one out next?
It's in the
Have you
fermenter
had that
right
one?
now.
It's in the fermenter. That's
Brendan, you had their
that's
NEPA?
the great.
Did you have another hazy one out?
Yes, we had two versions. An Orange Tang,
Orange Tang.
Space Force,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Arrested at Prom is a grapefruit version of the
Oh,
New
wow.
England.
Ooh.
And that came to be because one Sunday afternoon there were a group of guys sitting in here and we were busy at the bar, but I heard one of them say, remember when we got arrested at prom? Nice. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to name a beer that.
Yes.
And we did.
That's awesome.
They particularly enjoy that beer.
And they are Mug Club members now, and they enjoy
Nice.
their beer.
Oh, you do have a mug club, right?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
mug club special or buy-in or what are you gonna do for that?
It's $50 a year. You
Okay.
get a special mug with your number on it. It's 20 ounces, so every time you come in, you get 20 ounces instead of 16.
Okay.
And then on Thursday nights, that's $2.50.
Nice.
It's a popular night.
Damn.
We do special events. We feed our mug clubbers free a lot at a lot of our events, and then a free birthday beer. Special releases. They get access to those first if they want.
It's almost my birthday, Pat.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
May.
Old.
We usually keg a new beer on Thursday, so they get first crack at it if they want
Nice.
to come in for
Awesome.
it.
Yeah, I heard a couple of them came in earlier when we were just drinking, and I heard, I think it might have been you asked, what's your mug club number? And they said 67 and 68. And I'm like, how did you not just wait?
Because that number was taken first.
Oh, was it?
It didn't
You
last
could
long.
pick a number
Yes.
first? Oh, I thought
Yes.
you had to. I thought it would just be like 1, 2,
we gave them an
3.
option if they had a special number, and that went real quick.
I bet.
Because I was like, oh, sucks to be you. You got 67 and 68.
Believe it or not, the very first one we sold was number one. She wanted to be the first
Hey,
mug club,
really?
and she
Nothing
wanted
wrong
the
with
number
that.
one.
But I think 69
Yeah, that
was
went quick.
really
Second
quick.
one, that was a second.
Eventually, I said, "Stop asking. It's not available."
Actually, you should just have a sign up that says
Yeah,
69 is not
yeah.
available. It should just be a sign here, period. 69 not available at 10:56.
We're fortunate to have a lot of police officers and firefighters in the mug club, so they get to choose their badge number, and that's fun
Oh,
too.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
kind of that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really again back to community,
Yeah.
back to doing it. So
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know what to go at. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you. I had a brain fart there.
I see that.
I was going to say what's next, but we talked about your expansion.
Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about what's next in the future and all that kind of good stuff. And
sounds good
to close it out. But that's
and get more beer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes. Oh, you guys have been great already.
Yeah. Mike's dying.
Yeah, Mike is empty. He's kind of jonesing a little bit there.
Mike's like, thank God for a commercial break. Yeah, so let's hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
This is Robert Ralph Feddersen, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions. The bear eats the dude.
Hey, we're back. Yay! 10:56.
That'll be my new
I hope
thing.
that's not going to be your new thing.
No, it won't be.
Awful.
Don't worry.
We are back at 1056 Brewing in Knox, Indiana, and having an awesome day. Started with some snow, which was odd.
It's still snowing. No, it's still snowing.
It is?
Yes. I was just outside. It's snowing again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's just ridiculous.
It's almost April.
Yeah.
So we are. It's still NCAA tournament, and so my Spartans are still in, and we're waiting for Purdue. I'm a big
So
fan.
are the Boilermakers?
And fortunately Roach is going to talk because his boys are out. But
Aww.
and I despise Michigan, but when tournament time comes around,
Right back.
I'm a Big Ten fan. I mean, I love. I just want Big Ten to do well. So I don't care who it is. Some of those guys, some of the Michigan State fans piss me off because they don't want the other one to do well in a tournament. Screw that. I want everybody in the Big Ten. If it's a Big Ten, I want the Big Ten to knock the Big Ten out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Purdue and the Spartans are still in there, so we're rooting for Purdue tonight, and looking forward to it.
That was a scary.
So we'll know when the show comes out who won.
Yeah,
but,
that was a scary game though. I watched on Thursday. That was they got a little close. They got a little tight, a little close there. It was a little worrisome.
Yeah.
Can't root for Purdue. I got Virginia in my brackets.
Oh, really? You can't.
I do too. I get them going, but hey, I'll take a Big Ten.
Well, they'll blow someone's bracket up if they win. That's fine.
Yeah,
Mike, who's your team?
I don't follow one in particular, but like he said, a good game, and I'll go with Big Ten. I can watch a good game if it's a good game. Doesn't matter who's playing.
All right.
I'm not going to pick one.
Okay. Gotcha. That works.
For
it's
me,
busy here. Mike's having to worry about Mike's making sure everybody's taken care of as he's greeting all the people in. It's getting busy here, man. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a good thing, good problem to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was going to go with. I would like to hear if Mike has one from his days as a cop. Which technically are you retired? Did you retire or?
Yes, been retired almost 2 years now.
All right. So from your days as a cop, give us a funny story or anything from your days.
All right.
Like you said, you had
one
a little
that hit my head just a second ago is working on the motorcycle on US 30, and got a Porsche going 90 miles an hour.
Okay.
Pulled right over. Nice guy, but when I gave him his ticket for 90 in a 60, he was appalled, and his reason was, look at this car, it'll go twice that speed. I think I was doing pretty good to holding it down to 90. And I had to give it was a pretty good one. That's one of the better excuses.
That's good.
It's like, dude, I could have been doing 180. I only did 90. Give me a break here.
Exactly.
Dear God.
His mental state at the time.
What? Did you give him a ticket?
Still gave him the ticket.
You should.
But right. I did keep that in mind as one of the better excuses.
He gave him a chuckle. At least he gave him a chuckle. It's like, oh, that's great. Here you go.
Gave him the props for the excuse. It was a good one.
I figured that kind of heavy. Isn't that the excessive? You basically just got to take them out of their car at that point.
No.
Come on, you've taken a couple out of the car.
And these days, that's not even a bad speed. You'd be surprised how fast people drive.
Yeah. Do you ever? Does it kill you now to, when you see someone flying down, you're like,
No, I can get over it.
You're done.
No, I'm done.
You're done.
That's their business.
He's probably joining them.
Following behind them. And then I'll use that excuse. I was just following the guy in front.
That's what I always. Me and my brother always got. I always look for the white rabbit to follow. It's oh, there you go. Okay, he's doing 90. I am gonna do 90 maybe 89. Just
there you go.
Let them creep up away from me a little bit, and then I'll slow back down. So
that's me, my wife's soccer van. Who's gonna pull over a van with stickers on there?
Follow the bright red car going 90, and they'll never take you.
I could have been going 50, but it's a minivan. I can only go 20.
Exactly. Stickers on the back, soccer mom, and all that.
Never get pulled over. You would think you'd pull those over first. I mean, I don't know. There's got no way.
I don't know. Well, maybe on our next interview, we'll dig into more of that and learn some. Maybe we'll learn some secrets. No.
Well, you want to hear
don't drive the bright red Porsche. Because you know what? It's probably going to catch his eye first.
Yeah.
But I did want to go into one other thing. I wanted to, and I think the listeners might like it.
Brew day.
Walk us through a brew day, because there's a lot of people who don't understand. Yeah, if you're in a garage and you're doing it on a Saturday because you got nothing else to do, it's you're just having fun. You're drinking. Some friends might be over. You're all just kind of playing around and not really watching everything as tightly as you should be. But walk us through at least a summarized brew day for trying to keep, because you've got to brew consistent beer. You've got to keep repeating the recipe, especially on the good beers. If you can, walk us through, both of you, walk us through a summarized brew day.
Okay. Well, I think it starts a few days before the brew day.
Does it?
We look over what's on the board, what's in the cooler,
okay,
what's been going hard, what's maybe not going hard, what we haven't done in a while, or what people have been asking for. With 20-plus recipes, people have favorites. Yes. And then they'll be asking for it. So,
which is awesome to have favorites, though.
and it's nice. It would be nice to keep everybody's favorite on all the time, but you can't do it. So, so we'll look ahead a little bit, see what grains we have. We don't keep thousands of pounds of grain on hand. We can get it pretty quickly, so we keep a couple thousand pounds on hand, but not a lot. So, see what grains or what recipes we're looking at, what beer what will be next on the agenda, and then check to see that we have the ingredients for it.
Time of the season obviously has a
correct.
All that.
Yep. What if it's been a while? We haven't the IPAs. It's getting warmer out, and we haven't brewed it for a little while yet. So we have one in the fermenter right now, and then early the brew morning, somebody comes in and powers up the electric kettles to bring them up to temperature, and it takes a couple hours to get them up.
Are you running? Are you running like just a reverse osmosis system, filtered water, and
we are really lucky. Sorry, I did skip that part with the water. We're lucky enough our water's been tested here, and it's really good. Have to do nothing, straight out of the well.
Nice.
We're great out of the well.
Okay.
Good water right out of the well. So I do pre-fill the tanks the night before. So in the morning, somebody can just come click on the. I think timers would probably work. We're probably to the stage where we should put some money on some timers, and we can stay at home. Don't have to make the trip up here.
You could get Alexa to just turn that shit on for you. Alexa, turn on my damn freaking kettles.
Fire those up, and while those are coming up to temperature, get our grains together. We still grind most of our grain ourselves.
Oh, you do?
So, we don't, the big bulk grain that we use, the 2-row that we use in everything, that's pre-ground. But most of the other stuff, we grind it. So measure stuff out. I'll be grinding while the kettles are heating up. Get everything ready to go. When it hits the temperature, transfer it over. Start adding the ingredients and getting it stirred up, and start the timers. And she's on the recipes Erica's done. She has everything mapped out for me to follow. It's pretty much just.
Are you on paper and pencil, pencil and paper, or you have it on a computer or anything?
Both.
It's on the computer, so I print all those out, and then of course I add, because I'm a control freak, just a few notes and checklists here and there.
There's always.
Hey, Mike, don't forget this.
That's exactly right.
You know what's going to happen when she puts an Alexa in there? She's just going to conference call in and go, "Hey, Mike, stop. Wait, you're doing it wrong." Have a camera on you.
and the recipes themselves don't change a whole lot, but they do evolve a little bit. If something's happened a couple times that we want to change,
Like the Gosa that you'd like to have more tart. So next time we
might
add
tart
a
it
little
up.
more.
I was going to say, do you evolve from yourselves, or do you get play off what you're hearing at the tables? And
are you always listening? Are you
I mean,
watching
have
reactions?
to, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're always listening and talking to people and finding out what they like about particular beers. In your case with the Gosa, what would you, since that was the first time we've ever brewed it, the next time, what would you like to see different?
But again, my palate's not. You have to add in all the other reactions you get from it too. So yeah.
But most of them, by the time you hit the third recipe, you can't keep changing it. You've got to commit at some point. You can play with those first couple ones.
Either commit or toss it.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
done.
That's what I was kind of going to. What if you get a beer out and you're like, fuck, I love this, but then you're not hearing that same thing, and they're asked, you know what I mean?
Now
do you go, I like it, so screw them?
I think our very first
you know
brew of a hazy IPA wasn't real hazy, but it sold out in a couple days. But to us, that we planned it to be. So the second recipe changed it to haze it up. Didn't change the taste; it just changed the way we perceived that beer.
Right.
But people, like I said, even though people loved it, we could have left it. Nobody would have
Do
known.
you play off your taste more, or both? I mean, it's just kind of a happy medium.
Well, I'm not
Since
sure
I don't
we've-
pay for our beer at the counter, I want to make sure we're always staying true to a recipe that we designed and we had in our heart as a recipe.
Right.
But at the same time, if there are small tweaks we can make to that so that the masses love it, of course we're going to look at that. But if I've got to change a recipe, then it's not a recipe anymore.
You can't be also.
Well, you can't please everybody.
Well, I think what you were saying too was you can't also be arrogant enough to say you have to have some humility in that you may like the beer, but if it's not fucking selling,
Correct.
Todd, you can't be that. You see it a lot. Used to see it a lot in chefs. And especially all those horrible chef shows or whatever. Where somebody's coming in to fix because the chef says, "Oh, all my shit's perfect," and they're yelling at the customer because the
put
customer
salt
doesn't
on
like
it.
it, and I'm like, that's the arrogance of that. You got to be. You have to have some humility there to say, you know what, I think this beer's great, but if nobody's buying it, I'm not going to brew it again then.
It's good
or I'll
customer
tweak
service,
it,
yeah.
or I'll tweak it, try it 1, 2, maybe 3 times.
Well, then it becomes a whole new beer at some point.
Yeah.
You
Right.
gotta
But if you've tweaked it, and eventually, and they still aren't biting on it, then you toss it and move on, right?
And we haven't found ourselves in a position where we had any beer that no one would buy. And one of the most interesting things about running a tap room and selling beer and designing beer is the fact that everybody perceives a beer differently. And it's never based on only that beer. There are so many things that go into how you decide a beer tastes.
Yeah.
Who you're with, what you're eating, where you're at, what you did that morning, what mood you're in. And I'm not saying a beer isn't a standalone thing, but our perception and taste buds aren't just taste buds alone. So that's the fun thing about watching, because I can have 4 people at the bar, and if I tap a brand new beer, you could have 3 people that are like, "Oh my God, this is amazing," and then you'll have one person that says, "It's not great."
It's all right.
Everybody tastes things differently.
Right.
So, have you found since you opened the tap room, you're doing different? You're learning better on any of that versus when you were just straight distributing and doing, the festivals and things. Because here you have a lot of more real time. You're getting a lot of more real time input.
I think the difference is, before with Brewfest, we got quick feedback. And now, someone would taste your beer, tell you what you think about it, and then they go on to the next booth, and then they eventually work their way back to you. Whereas now we get the chance to sit and watch somebody drink a full pint and see what they're going to choose next and what they tend to go back to. And I do enjoy that aspect of it. That's gratifying.
Rather than everybody drinking the 4-ounce, 5-ounce sampler the whole day and then coming back. And that's kind of what I was at. So you are learning differently though from opening the tap room versus when you were originally doing, because you get to watch it over time rather than the one instantaneous comment they made right at that time.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. I think
that's
that's very
a
interesting.
festival where you're drinking 80 different beers, and you have to.
Well, they're quick to judge at a festival too.
Yeah.
You get a quick response on your beer there, whether they like it or not.
Which isn't necessarily fair. because they may have just drank a
and we always that's one of the
super
things
dark,
we always
a super dark creamy stout, and now they're tasting your Goza, and it's
Right.
like,
that's awful. Well, no shit. It better be after that. we always tell people, even just going to a tap house, go to the breweries because that's you know you're not going to know that full flavor until you go to the brewery. Don't
sit and
go
drink
to
that
a tap
pint.
house. Even
Absolutely.
you just don't know. You could get a bag can of beer. I mean, I just
Well,
tell
tap
people-
house meaning you mean like the ones who aren't beer brewery
Not
affiliated,
the
the ones
breweries,
not
right.
the breweries
tap
house.
You don't know what's going on in the lines, and you
You
How
don't
long
try
the
to
beer
serve
sat
the sour
there.
right
You
before
can't
they
trust
serve
that stuff.
Or did they? Because I mean, we've seen it a lot. Like I mean, there's some great beers. Like the Common Necessity is a great hazelnut. You don't like it much, but I do.
I'm not a
but
hazelnut
it is
fan, but-
it is so freaking hazelnut. But then if you don't clean that needs to be the only beer ever on that line, unless you clean the shit out of that. Because every beer. Oh, great! I just had a peanut butter Goza. Or, oh wait, I had a hazelnut Goza. No, it's a Goza. There's no hazelnut in it. Yeah, there was.
You can go to a tap house and get, I'm going to try this beer from this brewery and go and have just a bad line. And the drinker has no idea and go, wow, that was awful. I would never get anything from that brewery again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's dangerous.
it is dangerous. So that's we always tell people, don't always go to the breweries.
Or go to reputable tap houses that do good line maintenance and are knowledgeable in that, because there are plenty of places that have 10, 15 taps, but they don't care. They're if keg blows, okay, just put the next keg on that particular tap, change the tap handle, you're done.
The Randalls too always amaze me. People taking people's beer and putting them on a Randall and doing things with it. It was like, I would be mad unless you wanted
you
to do
authorized
that.
it.
No,
Unless
I
you
wouldn't like that
authorized
at all.
it.
If I sell you Jane Doe, you need to be pouring Jane Doe because that's what people want. If they see the
Right.
name Jane Doe, it has a
Right.
following. They know that's a peanut butter chocolate porter.
Right.
You mess with that with something else, I'm probably going to have
If
a
you
problem.
want to Randall your own beer is fine, but
Yeah.
if you're Randalling somebody else's beer, I think that's
Don't
Not ever
put-
even heard
I
of that,
think
though.
it's
Some places have done
There's
that.
places that
Just
are
go through a distributor and buy somebody's beer, but then change it with put whatever you want in
Yeah.
it. and around.
Now-
For an event.
I can't say for sure if there's been confirmation or I don't know, but I've seen it and it's like, man, I'd be pretty
it's
upset.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, those are some of the less reputable tap houses, the places that just have taps and aren't really giving a shit about the beer, which I think is super important, especially because you're trusting your beer to that tap house to serve it properly. So, yeah.
And
So-
that jumps into why we self-distribute, too. So
Yeah.
we pick and choose where our stuff can go.
Right.
You never know how long my stuff's going to sit in the distributor's warehouse and where it's going.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to ask the one, how long is the brew day? I know we got off topic a little bit. When do you get to relax?
I'd say 8 or 10 hour day.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah, from start to finish, I'd say 8 or 10 hours. That's
Clean
up.
And that's okay. So, but that's brewing the beer, cleaning up. That's not even. Is that including like?
Wait a minute. He said 8 or 10 hour day, and our IT guy said, "Oh crap," because that's a long. That's like abnormal. He's like, I'm in my PJs. He may have 3 days he has to put pants on, and he's bitching about an 8 or 10 hour brew day.
I heard it.
I don't put pants on.
Our equipment's small
He goes,
enough,
I gotta put pants on to come to these things. God damn it!
You don't have to. You can brew here without in your pajamas.
I know what's happening. You know where I'm going.
8 to 10 hour day is pretty normal, Pat.
No, that's not what I meant though. But,
I know.
But he's moving. They're moving a lot of stuff. You're throwing grain. You're
Pretty compact here. Everything's close. And
but is that also including getting the beers that are already kind of prepped out down into keg and all that, or is that a whole nother?
That's a whole nother day. Yeah.
But during the brew process, during the downtime, we're always
It's all
trying to
set.
figure out how you multitask.
Yeah.
So when you've mashed in and you're waiting for that to steep, there's always kegs that need to
Cleaning.
be emptied and cleaned so they can get in line to be sanitized so that when you're pulling stuff out of the fermenter the next day, it's always a multitask situation.
Just
trying
a
to
round robin.
monopolize.
It's just a
All the
round
time.
robin
Yes.
of everything. Yeah.
I'm not just sitting watching the grain all day cook. I'm like you said, in the downtime, during the mash, during your each time you put in hops, there's you got time in between. There's stuff going on all day, so it's an on your feet all day. But I get more than just a brew done.
Right. Okay.
So
and that's what I think you need to I wanted the listeners to get. It's not just like we sit in the garage for 5 hours and watch the thing and stir the kettle.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, granted, we got to multitasking a little while there because a couple of you guys were cleaning bottles while the rest of us were watching the brew go. But that's a 5 hour day. That's a 5 hour one day a week for us.
Right.
They're doing it 8-10 hours several days a week because they have to keep doing this. And I'm not doing this I wasn't really bringing this up to like scare anybody, but it's a lot of work. It's a microbrew. They're just kind of doing this in they're retired. It's their spare time. Fuck no.
There's a lot of science
if you don't like cleaning dishes at home, you won't like doing this.
Yeah.
That's all you do is clean.
Yeah. Right. Now, I mean, do your kids help at all? Do the kids help at all or no?
No.
Damn
Not
it.
in the brew process. We're fortunate enough
Drink. They help with the drinking.
Stop it. They do help us in the tap room with cleaning dishes and things like that.
Awesome.
We're fortunate enough in Indiana I'm going to guess most states, that your children, stepchildren, nieces and nephews, regardless of their age, they can work in the tap room.
Really?
As long as they don't touch beer, they can be doing other functions.
They just can't pour.
Correct.
Okay.
So our kids are washing a lot of pint glasses. And for us,
it's
that's
good
nice.
for them. It's good for them.
Yeah. If you think about it, we're here Thursday through Sunday. Most of those are late evening hours. We've got a couple teenagers left at home that we do want to see. And then on our off days, we're brewing and cleaning. And I have another company that keeps me out at hospitals with photography. And so sometimes those evenings where we have the kids here helping us are golden.
That's family time.
Oddly enough, again, with multitasking, we have to turn this into family time.
And I think that's what we hear all the time. The science behind brewing. It's like
What about the real world implications about it? Yeah, real world pieces.
But it's like 30% science, 70% cleaning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cleaning,
probably
cleaning,
60% cleaning.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And God forbid you want to do like a sour.
Yeah.
The ghost is going to be tough enough to clean.
Then we go to 90% cleaning.
You don't go to the Brett sour or anything like that. Hell no.
I'm probably just going to replace the lines after we serve that ghost out.
At that you buy another warehouse like 4 miles away, so there's no chance of any cross contamination.
It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, thanks guys. I mean, this has been great. Love you guys. We've been championing you for the last year that we've known you, and we really appreciate all the hospitality.
Love you guys.
Really had a great time at our Halloween thing over at Tippy's, and
Always
hopefully
fun.
they'll do that again. The pumpkin muff was great, by the way. It was great. It was a great beer.
What?
I have some left. I can put it on the side.
You have some muff left for me to take home with me?
Sure do.
Mike never disappoints.
Muff for everybody.
Yay! But no, and we're happy you guys are doing so well. I know it's a lot of work for you, but it seems like you're enjoying it at least. Are you enjoying it?
We have a blast here.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's got to be tough work, but it's interacting with people. It's interacting with your town. It's just got to be it's got to be fulfilling.
It is,
and it sounds like
truly.
it is, and we're really happy for you guys on that.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
We'll come back and do a big summer event. We got a big breakout. We love this place. We'd love to do some more with you guys.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Yeah, like I said, the new tap room is great. What was this before, real quick?
Years ago, it started out as a lumber yard, and then it evolved into an automatic music company that sold
coin-operated music stuff.
And then it evolved into a services company that did a lot of rehabs on homes. So this made sense because they had so many construction items they had to store and all that. And the last thing it was called the Redo. It was a consignment shop.
Okay.
And so when we purchased this, most of that was up front, and this was just basically an OSB walled room. And this is where we spent the most of our time, dressing out this tap room, getting our taps, building that walk-in cooler that obviously had to be built out.
Yeah. No, it's great. But yeah, like I say, I was just curious what it was before.
Roach is convinced there's a distillery back in that
old building
barn back there.
In that big red barn.
Yeah, he's like, what is it back there? I know there's a still back there.
We dream about owning that barn one day.
The moonshine distillery.
No, guys, God bless. We love you guys, man.
Thank you. I love you
so
too.
much.
We'll be back often and as much as we can.
Well, he lives 15 minutes from me.
Well, I'll be,
yeah.
You can move.
Next time I'll bring my albums.
Actually, I can. You're right. I can actually move anywhere. I just need internet. I need lots of fast internet. I'm good. Who knows? But guys, thank you for sitting with us. Thanks for all the beers and cheers.
Thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers. No, just still some beer in there.
Met you in a haze of days, a deja vu, blazing down the avenue, trying to make a buck or two. You said you had nothing to lose, amazed and knew you were telling truth, so we blamed the days and drove off to something new. Here on a holiday stay, what we grew in the fields is what we ate. Wasn't enough to satiate the hunger in our souls, so I drank the blended cactus and you set up on the road. Where are we going? No one really knows, but in the past you never failed to follow me. Roosters crowing, it's time for you to go. I can hear a freight train whistle and left you with the jug of wine in the Louisville Strip. It was Easter time with the banjo clipped to the back upon his spine. Tin of tobacco, a bag of rice, a nomad's grip on a state of mind. You smiled back, knowing this was not goodbye. Now the rails looking far out. Had a close shave at the building, here's Billy Clyde. You followed through with being insane and dove into the country's veins. Risked it all for a better look, lost it back to write the book. Where are we going? And no one really knows, but in the past you never failed to follow me. Roosters crowing, it's time for you to go, but if you find the truth, you bring it back to me.
Roast-headed, fell to hell, drowned inside a wishing well, caught a bus back home with a tale too tall to tell.
Glassy eyes in a darkened mind, he sat completely paralyzed, like a ghost who'd lost his grip upon the grail. But life's a big old bitch when you